What's going on, YouTube? Gonna do a little update video and some modifications on the old rat bike here. So keep watching. So here's where I'm at. I've been taking this thing out on evening bike rides. My daughter and I go out riding, and I like riding this one, she rides her bike, and up until now I was using a little flashlight just kind of zip tied to the handle, and then I take my Bluetooth speaker and I had it zip tied down here to the crossbar. It works essentially, but not great. And then this is a regular little iPod holder, so I can mount my phone or iPod right there, and just zip tied that on, and then I can control the music. Works pretty good. But I don't like the speaker being attached to the down bar, because if it spins around a little bit, it hits my chain, my pedals hit it. It gets kind of annoying. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to install a bike rack, something similar to this on that one, but obviously that one goes with that bike. It's too nice looking. I do have this old chrome one here, but once again, that one goes with that bike. I want something a little rattier looking, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make one out of this piece of pallet wood. There. Hopefully it looks good, and kind of fits the patina and the rattiness of it. Alright, I got this thing cut to length. Yeah, it ain't perfect, obviously. It's got a couple little knot holes and things like that, or knot grooves. I'm going to sand it down and make it pretty smooth. But what I'm thinking is, I don't know if I want to split it into third, or maybe just do one down the middle, but I want to add a little character to it, kind of like the other one on the bike. I mean, it's got grooves in it and things like that to make it have a little more character, so it's not just a flat piece of wood. So I think I have an idea for kind of a design into it, so I'm going to go with that. If you notice, maybe that the camera action is kind of smooth, or is a little bit more smooth, and I don't know, maybe the picture is better. I'm using my daughter's very expensive camera, so if you like this one, give me a thumbs up, because I think it looks pretty good. Nice panning, and the picture looks super clear. Alright, I want to put a little kind of a design on here, because I don't want it just a flat piece of wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to split it, or I'm actually going to rip this, and then I'm going to gap it out just a hair, and then I put basically an inch wide gap across the center, so it's half an inch on each side of the line, and then I think I'm going to kind of do like a little radius cutout on each one. So best way to do that, get a good radius, like an old LP. Make sure you're in frame here, and I'm just going to trace my radius on that. Not really concerned with them being super even, as long as they're straight across from each other is the only thing, really. There we go. Looks pretty good. Use my jigsaw because it's a little bit quieter. Nope. Cut in my cooler a couple times a little bit. It's alright, just a fish cooler. There we go. Well, here we go. Got them both cut. I'm going to go ahead and get everything sanded up, and then finally I kind of want to do some little brackets and everything to kind of hold everything together, which obviously I'm going to have to do. But I think that'll look alright. Hopefully it's not too fancy. Probably should have done 3. Alright, well, I have to be able to kind of join the 2 halves of the board together, so I wanted to put some hardware, basically some little brackets underneath, just flat brackets, a couple of them underneath, and then it's going to attach underneath the seat. I was looking at something, maybe a flat bracket. I found this one, and I was really wanting to use some flathead screws because it looks more vintage. I don't have any flathead screws that will actually go all the way through the board and through a bracket, so this one's pretty good because it's like obviously fairly rusty looking and cruddy. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Same thing with this guy right here, and then I have this one, and also once again it has the flathead screw, but I think that's the only flathead screw that I have that'll actually go all the way through the board. And that one, I have to go look again and see if I have the match for that one. I don't think I do. I have a bunch of little short ones with hardware, and I was going to run them all the way through. But I think what I'm actually going to do is put probably this bracket across the bottom and use some self-tappers. These are cross point, but I think they are kind of old and crusty. They're really high domed. I think that looks cool. So I have a couple of those that I think I'll be able to use. Where'd my other one go? I had 2 of those. Oh man, don't tell me I just lost one. It's around here someplace. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm going to use. Oh, there it is. To attach the bracket underneath. You know what? Forget it. I was going to use these kind of rusty brackets, but they're really too wide to fit on there. All of them are, so yeah, I'll just hang off the edge. Yeah, I could cut them, but it's just ridiculous. I have a couple of these, and yes, they are kind of shiny metal, but I can take them down and throw them in the water or something like that and let them rust up in the Gulf for a few minutes. I just got to flatten these out, and then I can run some little wood screws or something up through there just to hold it. Plus with the 4 holes, it'll work out better. And you know what? It's on the bottom. Nobody's going to see it. Who cares? There we go. So yeah, it doesn't look super old school on the bottom, but from the top, who gives a crap? Left a little bit of a gap in there, and then I'm going to, I think I want to kind of radius the one end that goes, basically you'll see from the back of the bike. The front end's going to be kind of tapered on each side, right up behind the seat where it mounts into the bracket. Alright, making a couple little brackets here. Once again, kind of shiny metal, but it should work out. Once again, I mean, if I need to make them a little more patinaed, then I can. Basically, I'm trying to fit this bolt through, and I'm going to attach to the bottom of the rack with these little self-tappers. There we go. Got it. Yep, that sucker's warm. Yep, that thing's too dull. Try something else. I wanted to wire up some tail lights for the bicycle. The neighborhood that I live in requires that you have headlights, tail lights, you know, safety items, especially if you're riding after dark, and that's when my daughter and I like to ride the most. So if you've seen these flashlights before, these little LED flashlights, they're from you know, Harbor Freight. You can get them for free. They usually hand them out. These ones came from USAA. They're a little promotional thing, but they're real cheap little LED flashlights. They run off a little, you know, AAA battery pack. Holds like 3 batteries. Anyway, if you take them apart, there's the battery pack in there. Then there's a little ring in there, a little contact ring. So you take out that little aluminum ring, and then the light assembly comes out, and it basically looks like this. It's got the LEDs in it, and then there's a terminal board on the back, which is this right here. So I soldered the hot wire coming off of the center post, and then one of the outside posts I soldered the negative wire. These light assemblies I picked up at a garage sale. I think I paid $5 for 2 of them. They had a little 12-volt single filament bulb in there. Came with a lens and everything. These are like motorcycle lights for like a Harley Davidson or something to that nature. Anyway, once you pop the cap off of the light, this terminal board was perfectly the same diameter as the lens. So I hot glued it onto there, slid it in, and then ran the wires out. I think normally the wires run out through the mounting hole, but I'm not mounting them that way. It already had these grooves cut in it.
So for the bracket for the rear bike rack, I went to Lowe's and picked up a piece of 1/2-inch round aluminum tubing, and then this is 36 inches long. I cut through the pipe and basically just cut out a section similar to that. So that's the piece I cut out when I measured the halfway point, and then measured out about 5 inches total. Cut that to width, smashed it flat, and then just bent the sides over. This is aluminum. I don't expect this to hold on for a long time. If I really wanted to, I would take it to work, have the guys MIG weld around that to make it a little bit stronger. But I think for now, it should hold up for a while. The ends, I'm just smashing flat, and I'm going to drill through them to mount that to the rear hub assembly. Smashy, smashy. There we go. I think something like that. I was thinking across the middle, but I think that's going to interfere too much. I can cut this shorter, obviously. And it'll be right at the back of the chain guard. Don't really like that. And that would work. I like that following the same angle as that. There we go. Don't know what that sound was. That looks pretty good. I'm not pre-drilling these holes in the wood. I don't think it's necessary. Yep. Stay straight. Yep, of course. Number 2. Now ideally I would want to put flathead screws in these just to make it look more old school, maybe some old rusty ones, but for now, these nice new Phillips head ones will have to do. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I need to cut these brackets a little bit shorter, which is fine. I know I have to do that. Mark them. Probably get a Sharpie. So it's straight. There. Probably where they need to be crushed. I'll just measure up on the other side. Alright, hopefully you aren't too much in my way here. There it is. Nice. I want to get these clamped into place in about the right position so I can drill both sides. Yeah. Got them mounted on there finally. Are they perfect? No. But then again, this is a rat bike. So, they're on there. Focus. There it is. Yeah, one side ran over the top of the bolt head, the other one didn't. This one, the fender was always mounted higher than the other side, so. Anyway, just gotta get my taillights put on. I love these old screwdrivers. I think these are the same ones that Dale Earnhardt used for his axle shafts or whatever. Let's see. Here it is. Get out of the way, stupid wires. There we go. Gotta tighten it up a little bit. The other one's good. Very nice. Yeah, it's cool. Kind of chromey, but you know, whatever. Looks good. Let's see if these guys work. Basically just running some longer wire so I can run up through the tank. But I want to make sure that everything works. So I haven't tested anything since I got it hooked up. There we go. Nice. Cool. Alright, keep on running this up. Basically just along the frame and up through the back of the tank there. I think I showed you all this before. My headlights. See, I got one that's dimmer than the other one. Basically these are just out of flashlights. That one was obviously a lower lumen. So what I did is I found this flashlight in the door of my truck. For some reason, somebody left it in there. Anyway, I pulled the LED out of that. This one's considerably brighter, so I'm going to replace that dollar one. Beautiful. Okay, got her all put back together. See how she looks. Yeah, not perfect, but it's a lot closer than the other one was. Yeah, here she is, all done. Yeah, I could probably clean up those wires a little bit better, but you know what? It's functional, and I like it. All LEDs. I will update the batteries later on. Hopefully something rechargeable. Right now I'm just running them off a 9-volt. This old rat bike's pretty sweet. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks for watching. When it comes to soldering, I'm no expert, but I can solder like an expert with the new Weller Expert Soldering Iron Kit. All you have to do is pull the trigger and solder away. Instant heat, dual heat for your home projects. So remember, if it doesn't say Weller, it's crap. Available at fine retail stores like Sears.